So my option today is not to challenge jurisdiction, because when jurisdiction is challenged, everything must stop and jurisdiction must be presented. You must prove your jurisdiction right now. Everything must stop and you must prove your jurisdiction right now.
You're incorrect, sir. I don't have
Ma'am, I'm incorrect. Your oath of office says you're supposed to uphold the Constitution and all laws pursuant. The Constitution says I have rights, and you're not giving me, you're violating my rights by not telling me what jurisdiction we're operating under. Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am. So why don't you dismiss the case? Because I was not driving, I was traveling, ma'am.
As a defendant. You're not here as a
No, I'm not here as a defendant, ma'am.
Beneficiary.
I'm here as a beneficiary, ma'am.
You cannot come here and tell me how it's going to work. That is not how it goes.
What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction? Which jurisdiction is this court operating under?
Right out of the gate, we're jumping into one of the most common sovereign citizen arguments, the claim that simply questioning jurisdiction forces the entire court to stop. Here's the reality. Courts don't automatically lose authority just because someone challenges jurisdiction. Judges determine jurisdiction based on the law, not on a defendant's declaration. Keep an eye on how the judge handles this because it's about to become the central battle of this hearing.
This district court is back in session with the Honorable Reagan Evans presiding. While court's in session, there's no reading, walking, talking, driving, eating, smoking. When your name is called, please give your full and undivided attention to the court. Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. This is the People versus Carlos Durham. Ticket number 20397-842. Count 1, drove by license not valid or improper license. Ticket number SP1154-063. Count 1, drove by license not valid or improper license. And it looks like we're here for a review on ticket number U40128517. The conviction is disorderly conduct. Good morning, please say your names for the record.
I'm here, Your Honor. My name is Carlos. My name is Carlos of the Durham family, and I'm here as executor of the estate named in this matter and beneficiary, and I appoint you, the judge, as trustee. My name is Carlos. My name is Carlos of the Durham family, and I'm here as executor of the estate named in this matter and beneficiary, and I appoint you, the judge, as trustee to dismiss this matter.
You can't appoint me as a trustee. I'm not the trustee on this matter. I'm the judge of this matter, and we're not dealing with any beneficiaries or any of that. You're dealing with the defendant, and it's my understanding that you are Carlos Durham and you're the defendant in this matter.
Do I have a right to subrogation? Does the prosecutor give me the right to subrogation? Do I have a right to subrogation?
I don't even know what that is. What's subrogation?
I require subrogation.
What is that?
You don't know what subrogation is, Your Honor?
I don't.
Okay. Are these proceedings being recorded?
They are.
Is your bond and oath of office valid, current, up to date, and still in effect?
I'm an active member of the bar.
For the record, please present your bond and oath of office to the court. The prosecution bonded for this matter.
The prosecutor is not present right now, Mr. Durham, but I don't have to do that. So I'm here at special appearance, and I'm here for the purposes of demurrer. All rights reserved under my full God-given name, Carlos Lorenzo Durham, as indicated by his birth certificate. Mr.
Right
Durham,
here.
Mr. Durham,
I am also the sole beneficiary for this legal entity.
Mr. Durham, everything that you're stating does not apply to this court, sir.
So the Supreme Court and the Constitution doesn't apply to this court? What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction? Because those are the only two jurisdictions that's mentioned in the Constitution. Which jurisdiction is this court operating under?
Either. We're operating under state law.
So it's operating under statutory? Is it operating under statutory jurisdiction, Judge? Because if it is, I need to know the rules and procedures for statutory so I can defend myself. Could you tell me where I can find a copy of that?
Mr. Durham, we're operating under the law of the city. These are city ordinances and these are misdemeanors.
Those are not laws, ma'am. I'm American State National, ma'am.
Mr. Durham, these are your options today. This is, one is already set for a review because it looks like you already made admissions. It looks like you pled guilty to one charge.
I didn't plead guilty to nothing. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. A judge was operating.
Mr. Durham.
I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am.
Mr. Durham, how this can work, we both can't talk at the same time. So you need to be respectful and let me say what I need to say. I've let you say what you needed to say. So you need to let the court speak now. So you've already pled guilty, sir, in 2017. Or no, your plea date actually was October 4th, it looks like. And you were charged with offer to engage the services of another for an act of prostitution. It was amended to disorderly conduct. And so we're here for a review on that matter. Have two charges of drove while license not valid or improper license. The offense date is October 18, 2020. And then there's another drove while license not valid or improper license charge with the offense date of January 14, 2021. Now, today, you can either set these for, they're already set for a pre-trial. So you can set this for a trial, which it could be a bench trial, where the court, meaning the judge, myself, will decide if you're guilty or not of these offenses, or you can set it for a jury trial. Those are your options, sir.
So my option today is not to challenge jurisdiction, because when jurisdiction is challenged, everything must stop and jurisdiction must be presented. You must prove your jurisdiction right now. Everything must stop and you must prove your jurisdiction right now.
You're incorrect, sir. I don't have
Ma'am, I'm incorrect. Your oath of office says you're supposed to uphold the Constitution and all laws pursuant. The Constitution says I have rights, and you're not giving me, you're violating my rights by not telling me what jurisdiction we're operating under. Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
I'm not violating your rights, Mr. Durham.
Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
I don't have to prove my jurisdiction.
Yes, you do, because jurisdiction, when it has to be proven, must be proven. If you're exerting authority over me, you must prove your authority. Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
Mr. Durham, what we'll do is we'll set this for a jury trial. And so
I want a jury of my peers. I'm an American State National, so I get 6 American State Nationals.
Now things take a sharp turn. Appointing the judge as a trustee or calling yourself the beneficiary of an estate is a familiar sovereign citizen tactic, but it has no legal effect in criminal court. The judge immediately rejects the premise and brings the conversation back to the actual case. Do you think the defendant genuinely believes this changes the proceedings, or is it simply a strategy to challenge the court's authority?
As my jury, I need the prosecution to send me my right to subrogation in writing. I need your oath of office and your bonding information so I can make sure you are who you say you are and who you claim to be and what your duties and responsibilities are. All public officials must be bonded. I need all of y'all for full disclosure. Am I getting full disclosure right now, ma'am? I need full disclosure before I can make any decisions.
I've told you all that. So
no, you did not tell me all that. I need the name and the address of your bonding company and your policy number to make sure your oath of office is current. I need all of that.
That doesn't apply here, Mr. Durham.
Really now? The law doesn't apply to you. You're above the law is what you're saying.
So I'm going to set this for a jury trial, sir. What I'll do is, do you want to retain your own attorney or are you going to represent yourself?
Ma'am, I'm only here for the one purpose of subrogation. Nobody has given me nothing what I asked for, but you keep trying to force yourself on me.
I'm not forcing anything. You're here for something that doesn't apply to this court, Mr. Durham. If you're here for
so why don't you dismiss the case? Because I was not driving, I was traveling, ma'am.
As a defendant. You're not here as a
No, I'm not here as a defendant, ma'am.
Beneficiary.
I'm here as a beneficiary, ma'am.
You cannot come here and tell me how it's going to work. That is not how it goes.
So I need full disclosure. Am I getting full disclosure?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction? Which jurisdiction is this court operating under? Statutory jurisdiction?
The jurisdiction of the city of Detroit.
Is that statutory? Is that statutory? Because the city of Detroit don't get to overrule the Supreme Court or the Constitution. And it says if it tries to do that, everything you do is null and void. The Constitution overrules the law of the land, and that's what I'm under.
In order to be heard by the Supreme Court, Mr. Durham, you have to first go through the district court. And if
no, ma'am, that's not true. That's not true, ma'am.
Agree with it, then you can appeal it. But as of now,
I asked to see the lawyer's bond. I asked to see the attorney's bond. I asked to see the contract you have, so I can.
Do you want to retain your own counsel, Mr. Durham? He's muted. We'll just it just looks like that you're supposed to pay the fine of $50. So we'll just have you pay that on the next day, by the next time you come back, which will be January 17th. So you need to pay the $50 by January 17th at 8:35, which is your next court date. And then your jury trial date is February 7th at 1:35. All right, so you are all set, Mr. Durham.
Mr. Durham is saying something, but he's still muted.
Mr. Durham, you are muted, sir. I don't know if you know how to unmute yourself. It's the bottom left-hand corner.
I object to these proceedings.
Your objection is noted, Mr. Durham. So you got your jury trial date, and then you have your pre-trial date, the final pre-trial.
Okay, when is the prosecution going to send me all the evidence, including the witness, the damaged property, and the injured party's name? I need to know everybody involved. I need all this information.
Of course you do. Mr. Durham, what that is called discovery. And you have to do a request in writing for your discovery.
Ma'am, I'm not part of your society. I don't have to follow those rules and regulations because you can't tell me where to find the rules and regulations for statutory jurisdiction. Where can I find a copy of the rules and procedures for statutory jurisdiction? Because that's what you're operating under, statutory law, right? A statutory jurisdiction. Where can I find the rules for that? Can you tell me where I can get a copy?
You have your request in writing for discovery, okay, sir? And she should be able to give you the police reports or whatever she has. She can email it to you so that you can prepare for trial.
Are you going to give me your oath of office and bonding information? That's including the name, address, and policy number of your bond? Are you going to give me that?
I don't even know what all of that is.
Your public officials surety bond, just in case you violate my rights. All public officials must be bonded. You don't know what a bond is?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna write the treasurer, and they're gonna tell me the name of your bonding company. I'm gonna write the treasurer.
Myself, so I'm giving.
So you're not bonded. So you're not bonded, is what you're saying.
I've given you all the information that you need.
Okay.
This hearing, so you are all set, Mr. Durham. Unless you had other questions, you are all set, sir.
Yeah, I do have questions, but you won't answer them. You won't answer none of my questions. Are you operating under a statutory jurisdiction, a common law jurisdiction, or admiralty jurisdiction?
This matter is concluded, so you're all set.
Oh, so okay, I understand now. The bully tactic. Don't nobody want to answer questions, but they want me to comply with. I don't understand that. How am I supposed to have compelled performance if y'all don't want to answer no questions?
How's it going? Be better. All right. So my understanding, you want to represent yourself? All right. You're more than welcome to represent yourself, but here's the thing. Everybody says that they can be an attorney because all attorneys do is talk. That's what people think. But they don't realize there's a lot of knowledge, experience, and wisdom behind that. Absolutely. So if you want to have a jury trial where you represent yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. But once it's set for trial, it's going to trial. And
notice what the judge just did. Instead of debating every constitutional claim, she redirects the hearing to its actual purpose, deciding how the case will move forward. Judges often keep hearings focused because procedural hearings aren't designed to litigate every legal argument on the spot. That's why you're seeing the conversation constantly pulled back to trial preparation.
No one's going to be helping you. The state is not going to say, hey, we see that you really don't know the rules, so let me tell you this rule. They're not going to be doing that. My job is not going to be to help you with objections, help you with motions. That's 100% you. Do you understand?
I do. And are we on the record?
No, we're not on the record. What, you want to put something on the record?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sure. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2974, State of Texas Vector versus Hector Casanova. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? And are you Hector Casanova?
No, for the record, I am the flesh and breathing man. I'm here on a special appearance to clarify any misunderstanding. I am not the legal fiction known as Hector J. Casanova that is on the information there. I just have a few questions to clarify some things.
All right, so if you would like to clarify some things, then the person I need to speak to is the flesh and blood man known as Hector Casanova.
Yes, I'm the flesh and blood man, Hector Casanova Jr.
All right, so you are Hector Casanova, correct?
I am Hector Casanova Jr., the flesh and breathing man.
All right, well, I'm glad you're breathing. So what did you want to place on the record?
Well, first, I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me.
Mhm.
There are some clarifications I do want to.
All right, so just 1 second before we get to that. Have you been given a copy of the indictment?
No, I have not.
All right, so we're going to get you a copy of the indictment. Just give me a moment. All right, have a seat. We're going to come back on the record with this.
All right.
So we're back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. All right, Mr. Casanova, here's the thing. And I want you to hear me clearly. All right. I am not your attorney. The document that has been given you is a copy of the indictment. I'm not to give you information about your indictment. That's the indictment. That's what we're here for. So any questions that you would have about that indictment, you're going to have to answer those for yourself. Otherwise, the person who will be telling you about what the indictment means and what the numbers are, that will be an attorney. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Oh, what that means is, for example, we can go off the record. I'm giving you a hypothetical. All right. Let's say you needed surgery and you're in the middle of the wilderness. You need surgery and you tell me and you tell the doctor, guess what? I'm performing this surgery on my own. I don't need you. I'm walking out of the hospital. I'm going to go in the desert. Now, maybe the doctor would try to stop you and do other things. But if you go in that desert by yourself, don't tell the doctor where you are. You take a scalpel out in the desert by yourself. You don't get to call the doctor and say, hey, I'm in the middle of the desert performing surgery. I'm going to be my own anesthesiologist. I'm doing all of this. How do you do this? Because they're not going to tell you. It's the same thing here. You're saying that you do not want to be represented by an attorney. You want to represent yourself. So that motion, that indictment, I'm not to tell you anything about what that indictment is. The state is not to tell you, oh, this is what this indictment means. This is the range of punishment. Those are things that you're supposed to do. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
This is the same argument coming full circle. I was traveling, not driving. Requests for bonds, oaths of office, and demands to prove jurisdiction. These theories appear in many sovereign citizen cases, but courts across the country have repeatedly rejected them. The interesting part isn't the argument itself anymore, it's watching how patiently the judge keeps steering the hearing back onto the legal track.
All right, so just have a seat. This is what's going to end up happening. You're going to have an attorney. That attorney is going to come over to the court right now. You're going to speak to that attorney. After you speak to that attorney, we're going to go forward. Ms. Ferguson, can you call managed assigned counsel and let them know that we need an attorney over here? And that attorney will talk to you. That attorney will tell you what that indictment means. That attorney will tell you the range of punishment. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. Well, I don't know how I can further make you understand.
Are we on the record?
Yeah. All right. Normie, get someone from Managed Assigned Counsel here, please. All right. Just have a seat, and we're going to have an attorney come down. All right.
I would like to ask some questions on the record, if I may, while I have your time here.
Oh, no. Let me just tell you, you'll have my time till 5 o'clock because that's how long we're here. What is going to end up happening is an attorney from Managed Assigned Counsel is going to come down. Do you understand?
I do not understand because I I don't feel like I am needing an attorney because I'm here to represent myself as the flesh and breathing man, Hector Casanova Jr. Let's see. All right. So let the record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova
Just one
Jr.
second.
the
We're
accused
just
in
one
the
stop.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're on the record. So what did you want the record to reflect?
So let the record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova Jr., the accused in this criminal action, has asked the court to divulge the nature and cause of the accusation upon the authority of the Sixth Amendment, and that this court has failed in its duty to inform me of the nature and cause of this action. Furthermore,
All right, and let me
let the
stop
record
you,
also show-
Mr. Casanova. Let me ask you a question. Have you been given a copy of the indictment?
I believe so.
All right, so let the record reflect that Mr. Casanova has been given the copy of the indictment, and the copy of the indictment, it tells him what he is charged with. You may continue.
Now, these charges, are they civil? Is this a civil charge or a criminal charge?
All right, that is something that if you had an attorney to represent you, they would be able to tell you. What the court can tell you is that you are in a felony court, and this is a criminal court.
Okay. So, this being a criminal, let the record of the court show that the action against me is criminal action. My following question would be, the Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under the admiralty or military tribunal. In which of these two jurisdictions does this court intend to try me?
All right, so this is what is going to happen, Mr. Casanova. Someone from Managed Assigned Counsel is going to come over, and you can speak with them or not speak with them. But the questions that you are asking the court are not, some of them are not in any shape, form, or fashion related to the fact that you're in a criminal district court. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll be violating your oath of office if you did your duty under the Constitution. I am not seeking legal advice. What I want to know is legal intent. I have the right to appear as myself to my own person without a licensed attorney. In order to intelligently defend myself, I need to know the jurisdiction this court is operating under. Let's see. So therefore, will you please answer the question so that way this court is properly identified?
All right, you're in the 187 District Court. It's a criminal court. You're on the 4th floor.
Thank you. This Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under
All right, I'm going
admiralty or
to
military
counsel.
tribunal.
I'm sorry, Mr. Casanova, in the human flesh. I'm going to stop you right there. What is going to end up happening, I want you to hear me clearly. An attorney is coming over for Managed Assigned Counsel, period.
This might be the most important legal lesson in the entire hearing. Representing yourself doesn't mean the court lowers the standard. Once you waive your right to an attorney, you're expected to know the same procedural rules that licensed lawyers follow. That's why judges almost always warn defendants about the risks before allowing self-representation.
We have talked.
Mm-hmm.
I've informed him that I'm here, to help him in whatever he needs help with.
Mhm.
He's gonna consider what help he thinks he might need from me, and I know he wants to put something on the record.
Okay. All right. And so you'll be appointed as standby
Yes.
counsel then.
I've kind of explained my role and what that means and how I can help him with something as simple as e-filing or that type of thing. So,
All right. We're going to go back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. Mr. Casanova, if you come forward. Yes. All right. So, Mr. Casanova, Mr. Bach is going to be your standby counsel. And that's someone that if you have questions, you can ask him legal questions or what you may have.
Thank you for your consideration.
All right.
Uh,
And he informed me you wanted to place something on the record.
yes, for the record, I wanted to make it known that I'm here on special appearance under threat, duress, and coercion.
All right. Who threatened or coerced you to come to court?
The county of Bear, Texas.
How
State.
so?
Well, if I don't come here, then warrants will be placed, which I will be kidnapped and held hostage, and I do not want that. So that's why I'm here under special appearance to clarify any misunderstandings and to let it be known where I stand on the record.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I said everything that needed to be said.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall your case in 1 month. It's going to be a discovery setting. So that's to make sure that you have all the information that the state has concerning your case. Do you understand?
I do understand.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset for Mr. Casanova. And after you receive all the discovery, then the next setting is going to be a plea deadline date. The state will tender an offer to you at the next setting. And then I'll give you your plea deadline date, and you can accept the state's offer or come to an agreement or not. If you're unable to come to an agreement at that time, it'll be scheduled for jury trial.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have no further questions.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson is going to give me a date, and then you'll sign it. Mr. Bach will sign it to signify when you're to come back. All right.
I appreciate your time.
All right, you're welcome, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. What date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so we'll be back on July 29th. All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Yes.
If something were to come up and I need to maybe reschedule that date, is that a possible thing? Does it
You'll
come
need-
up ahead of time?
You'll need to speak to the court coordinator, and they will let you know. I will tell you the rescheduling of cases. Are you in the hospital? You're not in the hospital, you need to be here.
Okay.
You understand?
So pretty much no excuse, be here.
Yes. All right, thank you.
That surgery analogy is one judges have used for years because it captures the reality of self-representation. The court can't become your legal coach while also acting as a neutral decision maker. If you're choosing to be your own attorney, the responsibility to understand the charges, procedures, and defenses falls entirely on you. What do you think? Is the judge explaining this in the clearest way possible, or could it have been handled differently? Let me know in the comments.